It appears the center may not be holding any longer for Nigerian states as governors look inwards on ways to finance projects, run their states, and even pay salaries. Are Nigerian states insolvent or federal system that we operate simply faulty? That's the focus on the program. Many thanks for joining in, everyone. I'm Sean Joaquin Baloy, and this is Politics Today on Channels Television. Very critical issue that we'll be discussing on the sustenance of the state of the Federation. But let me quickly bring you some of the top political stories, and we'll return to talk more on that.
To go roundup on Channels Television. Here are your top political stories this time.
The alleged assassination attempt of the Edo State Deputy Governor is getting both political and security attention. The Deputy Governor, who wants to become the Governor, is eyeing the APC's mandate for the race. The Deputy Governor's campaign organization is speaking up on the matter.
It's another attempt again to intimidate, harass and put pressure on the Deputy Governor to win the governorship race or be eliminated.
Given the marching orders, they must be fished out.
Meanwhile, the Edo State government has condemned what it says is a hasty conclusion by the Dr. Pius Udugbu's team on the incident, which he claimed to be an assassination attempt on his life. In a statement by Mr. Kasim Afegboa, the Commissioner for Information in the state, the government says it is laughable that the Udugbu's campaign organization will allege that the Deputy Governor, with full complement of security details, was shot at, yet no casualty was recorded on the other side and nobody apprehended. Given the above scenario, we find it lousy for anyone to impute assassination theory as propounded by the Udugbu campaign organization, especially when investigations are still ongoing and the police are yet to submit their findings on the fracas. All appears unwell with the conduct of PDP's World Congresses across the country on Saturday. Several states are complaining about different issues, ranging from high-handedness of leaders to manipulation of the process.
I paid on behalf of Dr. Bayo Favoriji at Abuja for the forms for the congresses, the world's local and state. So whoever that is telling you that we have not purchased from, the person is lying.
The leadership of the party in Anambra State has called for fresh conduct of the ward. According to them, there was no congress held anywhere in the 326 wards of the state on the slated date. Briefing the media on the development, the state chairman of the party, Mr. Ejike Ogwebego, says members of the party were mobilized and awaited for the Congress committee led by Mr. Ladi Edun for a proper conduct of the Ward Congress, but to no avail.
So we want to say clearly, and there was no election. INEC is equally aware of this. So we are calling for after cancellation of the exercise.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories you need to know.
Thank you so much for staying with us. About 2/3 of the Nigerian states are not only owing salaries to the workers, several months for that matter, but they're now crying out over financing projects and running their own affairs. The simple fact is being that the mainstay of the Nigeria's economy is no more attractive as the global oil price has fallen drastically, affecting the nation's revenue. In Abuja, the governors met with the president, and here are what the governors said after the consultations.
From short term, we are looking at situation whereby our own funds that are hanging since 2005, line from the Obasanjo exit of Paris Club, some of the money that were not paid, so the state are having their difficulties. So if the state can get one or two things from there, we'll get relief. And also the loan restructured and ECA and the bailout loan that we start paying we are looking for moratorium for 18 months so that we can be able to strategize. The Bolivia IGR is just not over a night. Part of the medium term, we are looking how government will look at the revenue mobilization formula on sharing of resources, which is overdue for the past 10 years. And at the same time, instead of asking, the state has committed their resources on undertaking the federal program, more especially roads and airports. So we requested that we know that the president has put in a committee in place. So therefore, that committee should hasten their work and complete and present it to the president so that state can get relief.
And it was quite a good meeting, but it's more reassuring that things will get better. And I want to appeal to Nigerians to understand that the present economic predicament we find ourselves is not the making of Mr. President or any of this or the government, but some natural forces and some man-made forces, which has been long before now.
Obviously, you see, states have been really hit by the depletion of the revenues, and of course it's going to impede on the activities. So it's only necessary we sit with the federal government, who's also hit, and work a strategic way forward.
We have a president who recognized that he is not just president of the federal government, he is the president of the federation, of which the states are part. And regardless of our political affiliation, and this is very important, regardless of political affiliation, everybody is able to ask this president to give him support, and is giving across the divide. Whereas in the recent past, some PDP governors got to 2 billion naira from Ecology Fund. We APC governors, we were not giving. But we promise to be different, and I'm happy that this president is showing that difference.
Those are the governors there. The president is showing that difference, but will that difference actually amount to a better life to some of the millions of workers, some of them who have been owed several months in salaries and wages across the nation? Well, that's the issue that is making us talk on Politics Today on Channels Television. Well, to discuss this issue is a social commentator, Mr. Yinka Odumaki, who joins us in the studio here. And of course, from Warri in Delta State, is a legal practitioner, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Dafe Akpede. Let me start with Mr. Odumaki here. There is a big predicament, a sad one at that, because when our revenues are dwindling, one will be wondering, where else do we go to? And the president said his government will diversify. But in the meantime, how can the states look inwards to make sure that they satisfactorily maintain the finances of their own states?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that Nigeria has found itself in this terminal crisis.
Terminal?
It's terminal. And many of us did warn years back that the way we were going to enter into this crisis. I remember the 2014 National Conference. I did say then that if the price of oil should crash, most of our governors who are flying jets all over the place, they will look for Okada to ride. We are there now. 21 states today are owing salaries arrears. And you have seen them for their meeting with the president. What are they talking about? We are waiting for this one to share. Nigeria is about the only country I know where you let governors and their job description is to appoint a cashier goes to Abuja every month to go and collect check and come back. And we've been saying that this is not sustainable. But this is what we are doing. Nigeria is like somebody that's going to Ibadan and faces Badagry Expressway. And someone got to Seme border and said, where are we? Seme border. Where is the next place? Say Benin Republic. And he said, because I have traveled so far, let me continue the journey. It's going nowhere. We said this thing, that look, let us change this structure. This thing is not sustainable.
What structure are you talking about here now?
We are lying to ourselves. We say we're a federation, but we're a unitary system. The center warehouses only resources from oil and give checks to every state.